Coach Simmons here. Today, we're going to do a little tough love, right? And we'll make this very clear. I am not disrespecting Jackson State. All right? But I just rewatched the game. And it's time for a little tough love. And I'm making a point not to disrespect the players. This one's going to the coaches. Shaq Davis did a hell of a job. I mean, a hell of a job yesterday. Shaq Davis proved why he is a NFL prospect. But the problem is, for Jackson State, as a coach, you got to know when you have to adjust. In the whole game, it seemed like they were not adjusting to the coverage that South Carolina State was doing on offense. The thing you got to look at, point blank, is going to be the fact that playing Nugget off of Shaq Davis was not really helping. You needed to have a blanket on Shaq Davis. Your blitz was not getting to him. So you have to play a zone. That's pretty much what it was. A zone would have been great. If you look at the games they lost, and once again, I pointed out before, their losses were, except for the FAMU game, were good losses. You know, good losses mean something, right? Alabama A&M, first game of the season, they could have won that game because their offense was that explosive. Now, Alabama A&M's offense to their defense was very, very much innovative, put it like that. Now, going to Clemson, I mean, come on, dog. I mean, it's Clemson. We didn't count that one, right? New Mexico State, yes, they are a lower FBS team. They're still an FBS team, and I pointed out the fact that they had the most points scored against any FBS team for any HBCU. It was not even. Wasn't even close. North Carolina A&T also pointed out that no SWAC team has beaten them in the last couple of 5, 6 years. So that was a loss that you can respect. FAMU got out such a big lead that they had to turn them one-dimensional. I pointed out the ground game for South Carolina State would make sure that the team was going to be balanced. Jackson State has faced teams that were not balanced teams. The only team they faced that was balanced stopped being balanced at halftime for some dumb reason was Texas Southern. They were killing them on the ground and they stopped running the ball. So, offense-wise, the defense was so dominant because teams were only going to be one-dimensional. The offense really didn't have to do much, but sit up there and take what the defense gave them and exploit them when they gave it to them. Now going to offseason, we know they're going to get Travis Hunter, and if Nugget stays, Hunter and Nugget will be the best cornerbacks duo. By the end of the season, I would say the best cornerback duo in the country. I'm not talking about FCS. I'm talking about FBS included, if everything pans out. Safety help, Cam is going to be Cam. Shiloh has to learn how to tackle, and Shiloh has to learn how to high point the ball in the secondary. Besides that, he's good. Mr. Thurman, all respect due. I'm not putting my coaching ability against yours. You are the Don Dada, defensive coordinator of the year. You are that dude. But you need to understand when to adjust. In-game adjustment has always been something Texas State has been not known to do. They do it at halftime, but not during the game. Um, Next year, depending on what the schedule is, you're gonna have the same teams going against, basically. Depending on who your two other out of conference games are gonna be, probably one FBS team and probably one middle tier FCS team. My suggestions were Jacksonville State and Middle Tennessee State. Um, when it comes down to those games, man, you're gonna have to adjust. You're going to because your pass rush will not be the same as it was this year. And if it is, people will have figured it out. Like this game, James Houston, he had a couple of plays, but they basically nullified him by chipping him tight end in the formation, wham blocks against Cam. When you go against a coach who's actually a coach, it's going to be a problem. So you're going to have the talent. You got to adjust on it, man. Now, offense. The offensive line has got to get better. The offensive line coach came from Ole Miss, led the SEC in rushing, but y'all give up on the run way too much, man. Santi Marshall should have ran the ball a lot more that game. We know Tyson Alexander will be back, thankfully. Depending on who you get in the portal or a recruit, you may get a little bit better running back, but you got to maintain the run. You have to give at least 20 runs a game, at least. Shador, I'm not going against the quarterback, but as far as passing offense goes, you got to be more innovative, man. The one time you ran reverse, it shocked everybody because no one ever saw that coming from you. If you don't have more plays like that in your offense, you're basically running a high school offense, which is my talent better than your talent. And we're going to see if you can go ahead and stop it. Bruh, no. Trick them. Because basically, on offense, the game plans out. Prairie View and Delta State and SC State, they got the game plan basically. Now, in order to counter that, I thought you were going to get the ball to a tight end more. I said in my pregame, man, the tight end and Rucker are going to be the key to the game. Rucker and Lanier. Because they were going to take out Malachi Weidman and Corbin. And the one time you got the ball to the tight end, it was a 20-something yard game. Then you stopped. You got to remember, in the SWAC, the linebackers are not that good over the middle in coverage. The linebackers in the SWAC, they're either one or two things. Either going to be good in coverage or and bad against the run, or they're going to be great against the run and bad against coverage. They're not combined both. You have to pick and choose your offensive scheme via those linebackers. Now, next year we know you're going to have Quandre Davis. You're going to have Hunter on offense. You're going to have Weidman back, I believe, and you're going to have Rucker if he stays. Your receiving core will be dynamic. But you have to get in a tight end, and you have to get the ball to a tight end, man. Respect the tight end. T.C. Taylor, you a tight end coach. Bruh, get the ball to tight ends. We need somebody to be able to say no to Shedeur Sanders. I understand it's Deion's team and Coach Brown's team, but in order to get this thing done, you have to be able to tell him no, get the ball over here. And Shedeur has to work on getting the ball out of his hands quicker, which means the offensive play scheme cannot take that long to develop. You have the slowest developing plays I've seen of any higher FCS team. And you saw that with SC State. They were basically down, said, hut, go. With you, it's like, it's a pistol formation. dropping back 4 feet or 4 steps, and then looking. No, you have to be able to please pre-snap read. Look, I have Rucker on the edge by himself. We're gonna go with a vert or a post. The slower developing plays look good, but they're really easy to defend. Put it like that, especially when your O line doesn't give that much help. Now, I'm never one to want to get a black man fired or take a kind of money. So my suggestion, running back coach for the Kansas City Chiefs. 15 years in the NFL, running back coach for the Chiefs now, was wide receiver coach for the Saints. He's helped Michelle Hardman um, develop as a receiver, and he has learned under Andy Reid and learned under Sean Payton. Offensive coordinator, man. I mean, I know Deion wants to keep his friends close by, but offensive coordinator is something you got to look at. Especially if you want to become what you want to become. If you think you have the talent, do it. Get a young man from the NFL, help him quicken his rise to being a head coach. Give OC duties and let him run wild. If you're going to do the whole CEO style coaching, which is basically, put people in the place to do it, make sure they have the resources they need to do it, and let them call it, you got to get somebody like that. This Coach Simmons on vacation, doing my whole CFL thing with the posters in the background. It's not on a fireplace, but it looks pretty cool. All right, Coach Simmons.